Okay, so have you ever like walked into a really nice kitchen, and you see that granite countertop and you're like, whoa! Or you're in a fancy building, maybe a museum or something, and the marble floor is just gleaming.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty impressive, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, today we are going to dive deep into the world of the people who make that happen. Stone polishers.
Uh-huh.
We've got some really cool sources about this career that honestly, I think a lot of us don't think about much.
Yeah.
Like we see the final product, but what goes into it? We've got career guides, interview tips, even some stuff about how AI is changing things for people in this line of work.
It's really fascinating how technology is playing a role even in these, like, traditional trades.
Isn't that something? It really is. So I was looking at this RoleCatcher Career Guide, and one thing that stood out was how they describe stone polishers as artists.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like they're taking these rough stone surfaces and turning them into these polished masterpieces. It's not just about, brute strength. It's about really knowing the right techniques for each type of stone.
That's so true. And what's fascinating is that different stones have such unique properties.
Yeah.
I mean, take granite, for example, which is
Mm.
what everybody wants for their countertops these days.
Right.
It requires these, like, specialized diamond-tipped tools to get that high-gloss finish. Who knew?
I had no idea.
That's amazing.
And the guide also broke it down. You know how I like things broken down into steps?
Oh, always, yeah.
So it broke down the career path into stages, which I think is really helpful for anyone thinking about this as a career. You could start as an apprentice, learning all the basics, and eventually you could work your way up to like a senior stone polisher position. There's real potential there.
There really is. And, with that experience and growth comes more responsibility, of course, but also the potential to earn more.
That's a big one.
Right. What's interesting is this role catcher thing highlighted how there's a real demand for, like, really skilled stone polishers, not just in construction, but restoration, even art and design, you name it.
Wow. See, I was thinking just floors and countertops, but it's so much more than that.
Oh, yeah, it's way more diverse than people
You
realize.
could be working on like a historical monument one day and then someone's like dream kitchen the next. Talk about variety.
No kidding.
That would keep things interesting.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. But, every job has its ups and downs, right?
Totally.
And the guide was upfront about that, too, mentioning some of the challenges.
Like what?
Well, it is physically demanding work. I mean, you're on your feet.
Yeah.
You're dealing with heavy stuff.
Right.
And there's the potential exposure to dust, chemicals, that sort of thing. So safety's a big deal.
Oh, for sure. You've got to be careful.
Yeah, it's definitely something to consider.
It's not like sitting at a desk all day, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
Okay.
But that's kind of the trade-off, isn't it? You get the artistry, the creativity, the hands-on work, but it comes with those demands and risks, like any career path, really.
Very true. It's kind of wild, though, when you think about it, right? Like, here we are talking about stone polishing, a trade that's been around forever.
Forever, yeah.
But then you've got all this technology changing how people work, even in a field like this.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not like, robots are taking over the whole thing, but the tech is definitely there.
Right. Like with this RoleCatcher platform we keep mentioning, have you ever used anything like it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they're doing with AI and job hunting.
It's like having a digital coach in your back pocket or something.
Totally. Especially for resumes. I mean, I've used those AI resume things before, but this one,
Wait, it's different.
it actually analyzes, like, specific job descriptions.
Oh.
So let's say you want to be a stone polisher.
Okay.
It'll look at tons of those job postings, figure out what skills employers want most, and then it, like, suggests how to tweak your resume to make it stand out.
No way. So it's like doing the research for you.
Exactly. You're not just guessing or using some generic template.
That's so smart.
And it goes beyond resumes, too. They've got interview practice, even suggestions for training courses.
Get out. See, now that's what I'm talking about, using tech to your advantage.
Right. Especially in a field like this, where experience is so key. Imagine you're brand new, right? You're up against people who've been doing this for years.
Tough competition.
RoleCatcher can be like, hey, here's exactly what those experienced people have on their resumes, the certifications, the specific skills. Go get them.
So it helps you level the playing field.
Totally. Data-driven career advice. Who would have thought?
Not me, but I'm here for it. So even though stone polishing is all about that hands-on skill, tech's got a place at the table.
It's a powerful combination,
Yeah.
the old and the new,
For sure. And it makes you wonder, like, what other fields are being shaped by technology in ways we don't even realize?
I bet it's more than we think.
It's funny. I thought we were just going to be talking about like rocks and polishing techniques today.
Oh.
But this whole thing with technology changing how people find jobs, what skills they need, it's a whole other layer.
It really makes you think about the bigger picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we tend to put technology in a box, like it's just for Silicon Valley or something.
Right, exactly.
But like we're seeing, even with stone polishing, it's everywhere.
Totally. And it makes you wonder about the future, right? Like, what are people even going to need to learn if AI can tell them what skills to get? It's kind of like, what's the point of learning anything if a computer can just tell you what to do?
That's the question, isn't it? Like, will we even need stone polishers in the future, or will it all be automated?
Right. Will we even need podcast hosts?
Well, that's a whole other conversation. But what's interesting is even with all this talk of automation, there's still a huge demand for skilled trades.
That's true. There are some things you just, like, can't replace with a robot. You can't automate everything.
Exactly, and that's where the human element comes in, you know?
What do you mean?
Like, think about it. A machine can probably be programmed to polish a stone perfectly, right?
Yeah, probably.
But can it look at a piece of marble and see its potential, its unique patterns?
Yeah.
Can it adapt if the stone is different than expected?
Oh, I see what you're saying. That takes a human eye.
Exactly. And it's not just about the technical skill either. It's about taking pride in your work, paying attention to detail, having that eye for design. Those are human qualities that are really hard to replicate.
So you're saying, even in a world of robots and AI, those human touches, that passion, those are what set people apart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In a way, it's like those things become even more valuable in the future.
Huh. So it's not just about having the skills, it's about that extra something.
Precisely. The artistry, the dedication, the creativity, those are what make a skilled tradesperson, or any professional for that matter, truly stand out.
Wow, that's actually really inspiring. Who knew we'd get all philosophical on this episode about stone polishing?
Right. It just goes to show you never know where a deep dive will take you.
That's the truth. Well, on that note, we're going to have to wrap up this deep dive. We've gone from gleaming countertops to the future of work, all thanks to the fascinating world of stone polishing. Big thanks to you for joining us today. And remember, no matter what your passion is, keep honing your skills, embrace technology when it makes sense, and never stop learning. Until next time.